Ladies and gentlemen, I am beyond excited to welcome our first guest on the show today. He's a man who needs no introduction, a true legend in the world of business and politics. But today, he's here to talk about something a little different. That's right, he's here to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. Please give a warm welcome to the one and only Donald Trump. Now, I know what you're thinking. Joe, what's the deal? What's Trump doing playing D&D? Well, let me tell you, folks. I had the pleasure of playing with him recently, and let me just say, he's a natural. He's created a character unlike any other, a wizard named Tronald, and I cannot wait to dive in and learn more about this incredible character. So, Mr. President, can you tell us a little bit about Tronald?
Well, let me tell you, Joe, Tronald is a tremendous character. He's one of the best characters you'll ever see in Dungeons and Dragons. He's a human wizard, very smart, very powerful, very talented. He's got a great backstory, very interesting, very compelling. Tronald is a leader, a winner, and he always knows what to do in any situation. What inspired me to create Tronald as a wizard was how it aligns so well with my own genius-level intellect. Also, who wouldn't want to be a mage, right? It's like having a tactical nuke in your back pocket.
I wish that I had a nuke in my back pocket.
Well, I'll give you one, Joe. Once I take that schmuck out of office in 2024, we will install it in your backyard. How's that sound?
That's rad, dude.
Well, I'm nothing if not generous to the ones who are faithful to me.
Speaking of nukes, how will Tronald cope in battle?
No need to worry about that, Joe. Tronald is an absolute machine on the battlefield. His balls are huge, they're tremendous, and they're going to make the monsters pay big league.
Whoa, buddy, what do you mean his balls are huge? Do you mean metaphorically or...
Fireballs, Joe, fireballs. But yes, Tronald also has gargantuan metaphorical nuts as well.
Nice. So what you're telling me is you're a master of offense, right?
Exactly that, Joe. And when it comes to enemies penetrating me, forget about it. Tronald's got the best defensive magic, believe me. His barriers are like the walls from Attack on Titan. They're just not getting through.
Donald, the walls did get broken in Attack on Titan multiple times.
No, Joe, the gatehouse did. The walls only ever broke when Aaron began the rumbling.
Of course, my mistake, Donald. You sure know your stuff about Attack on Titan.
I know my walls, Joe.
Amazing. So you mentioned a backstory. Fancy sharing it with us?
Tronald was born into a family of wizards, but let me tell you, they weren't as great as he is. They were just okay. But Tronald, he was special from the start. He was born with a silver wand in his hand, and he knew from that moment that he was destined for greatness.
Tell us about his childhood.
When he was just a little wizard, Tronald showed a talent for magic that was off the charts. He was casting spells left and right, and nobody could stop him. He was the best wizard in his class. He didn't have any competition. Do you know why, Joe? Because they were all losers, like Joe.
Wow, okay, I didn't expect you to come at me like that, buddy.
No, not you. I'm talking about the sleepy one. You know, it's a shame you share the same name as that clown because I'm quite fond of you. Anyway, let me get back to my backstory, otherwise I'm going to spiral. I'm going to spiral down a long, deep rabbit hole about how that fool is terrible at his job. Do you know he smells kids, Joe?
That's pretty common knowledge at this point, buddy. So back to Tronald.
He smells kids, he's slow, he's corrupt, and he cheats. I won that election, but he brought in fake votes.
Dude.
I'm sorry, buddy, but I told you I'd spiral. Anyway, as he got older, Tronald knew that he needed to make a name for himself in the wizarding world. So he started his own school of magic, and it was a huge success. People came from all over to learn from Tronald, and he was making so much money it was unbelievable.
Wow.
But Tronald's life wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. One day, a group of nasty assassins came and destroyed everything he knew and loved. They were probably liberals. They slaughtered his family, his school, and his entire city. But more importantly, they took my gold, Joe. It was a disaster, a total disaster.
Okay. I'm going to pretend you didn't just say your gold was more important to you than your family.
There's no need to pretend, Joe. It was. All my family ever used me for was the gold anyway. You can bet your ass they wouldn't have stuck around for as long as they did without my riches.
So what you're saying is that if they just took your gold, it would have tested your family? Maybe brought them closer to you on a more personal level?
No, Joe. What I'm saying is the assassins would have done me a favor if they killed my family and left me my gold.
Okay. How does Tronald approach battles and challenges? Is he more of a strategic thinker, or does he rely on brute force?
Tronald is a winner. He approaches battles and challenges with a combination of strategic thinking and brute force. Nobody is better at coming up with a plan and executing it flawlessly than Tronald. But if push comes to shove, he's not afraid to get his hands dirty and unleash some serious firepower.
Nice. I'm looking forward to seeing this. What kind of items or equipment does Tronald carry with him on his adventures? Is there anything in particular that he values or relies on?
I would have said my gold, but it was taken by the liberals.
Donald, we can't be sure they were liberals.
Yes, we can, Joe. It's my backstory, and that's exactly what they were.
All right, anyway, how does Tronald interact with other members of the party? Does he have any particular relationships or rivalries with other characters?
I like Saxeron. He's cool, nice and level-headed like me. Gilro has seemed to have my back so far, although I do think he believes himself to be more competent than me, which is obviously wrong. And as for Rar, what can I say about him? He's an angry, angry man, but he gets shit done, and I respect the hell out of that.
Nice, so it seems like you get along with everyone then?
Tronald is a friend to all.
What are Tronald's long-term goals in the game? Does he have any ambitions beyond just completing quests and battling monsters?
Two main things, Joe. Number one, I want to become the greatest arcane user in the world, and I won't stop until I've tested my might against all who consider themselves more powerful. Number two, find those fucking liberals and get my gold back.
All right, I think that about wraps it up, Donald. Thanks for giving us a peek into the life of Tronald. And for everyone watching, make sure to tune in next time where we will be discussing Elon Musk's character, Saxiron. Peace out.